Today's yoga class, we're going to take a restorative class. So I've got lots and lots of props if you are just coming in. I have some round, they're filled with natural husk meditation pillows. I have a U-shaped one you're going to see me use, but you don't need to have the same props. Just have any pillows, blankets, things like that that can help support you. So the goal on restorative yoga, there's yin yoga and there's restorative yoga, and they are two different things, although both we hold poses for a very long time. In yin yoga, there aren't as many props, and the goal is to feel a deep stretch. So the muscles are actually working and stretching. In a restorative class, we are in a pose, but we fully prop it up and support it so that the muscles are not working and so that they can fully relax. So the overall effect of both of those things is that we help calm our parasympathetic nervous system and help bring a lot of relaxation into the body. But they go about it in different means. It's kind of a pet peeve when I say, oh, we're going to do restorative, and they're like, oh, yin. No, restorative and yin really are not the same things. They go about it in very different ways. So my other things that I really love, I love to have an eye pillow, but some people don't like the pressure on their eyes, so maybe a towel. Or if you don't like anything on your face, don't put anything on your face. I just like it. I find it very calming and restoring. I've got blankets. I've got lots of pillows, blocks. Anything that would support is helpful and useful in this practice today, because we really want to prop everything up so that nothing is working. If muscles are working, then they can't fully relax. So our playlist today features the music of Marconi Union. It's an album called Weightless, and I love it for this class because it's just so gentle and subtle. So feel free to put it in and crank it up. The first one or two poses, I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, and then after that, I'm gonna let your minds just settle into the space. So, and finding that, maybe if you're uncomfortable and like body parts start falling asleep, feel free to move. Give yourself permission to move. But also see if you can breathe into a particular pose and find some more relaxation there, some deep breaths, and maybe exhale through the mouth to let go of those things. So our first pose today is going to be a restorative child's pose. So in a restorative child's pose, I like to use a block and a pillow. I like to put a block in between my legs to kind of sit on, support my hips so that my hips are not pushing down on my feet. In restorative in general, if there's any space in the body, we want to fill that space with something to prop it up. So if, for example, you wouldn't do cat and cow in a restorative class because you'd have to have like pillows all the way up supporting you. And then like if you were in cow, you'd have to have them all the way up and be like laying on something. You could, I guess, if you really propped it up, maybe on a bouncy ball, one of those big exercise balls or something like that. But yeah, so those are some possibilities. So for our first pose, for child's pose, maybe something for underneath your head, either a block or a pillow. I'm going to use a pillow today underneath my hips. I'm going to play with that. And we're going to move the puppy off my yoga mat. Yeah, hello, good morning. Get off my mat, thank you. So we want to take our time to make sure as we build into the pose that we are comfy. So I know right now with my hips, they are resting on this pillow, and I could stay here for a while. If I was teaching a restorative class in a studio or in a gym, it would last an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we would be in each pose for at least 10 minutes. Today we're going to do a little bit less than that. So I have all my things. Oh, I'm sitting on that one. I'm moving around. So I'm setting up for my child's pose. I'm going to find a place. I like to have some space under my face, but so I'm going to put my head on the pillow. And then as I get here, I'm seeing where am I going to be uncomfortable. So I feel my arms. They want something, so I'm going to put these on my arm, under my arms, so they're supported. I feel like my hips need to be a little bit higher, so I might actually move onto a block. So we're finding our restorative child's pose. And then once we arrive there, taking some deep breaths in. So breathing in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth if we want to get rid of any tension, anything that we're storing or carrying. Deep breaths. And as we're in this pose, listening to the sound of our own breath, noticing how it feels in our body, and maybe coming into that ujjayi breath where we can feel the air roll around in the back of the throat. And with each exhale, letting go, releasing our expectations, releasing competition. This is today just to give our body a chance to recover and restore and renew. And letting go of judgment of ourselves. Right? In a restorative practice, we might find ourselves thinking about things and judging ourselves, and letting go of that today. Just honoring our journey, being in this space, breathing deeply. And maybe if we like, we can find a sankalpa, an intention to think about, just to keep returning to. Sankalpa is a positive, affirmative statement in the now. So I am rested. I am renewed. I am restored. Or I'm relaxing. I am filled with love, kindness, contentment. I am letting go. Finding one that works for us and just breathing into that. Imagining we're melting into the floor. Letting our eyes close. Acknowledging the present moment. And if we find ourselves thinking about other things, acknowledging those thoughts and imagine it's like a cloud and it's just blowing past us. Lessons of love, that's what they are. We usually don't know what the lesson is while we're learning it. Maybe we're not supposed to. Besides, if we really knew, if we knew it, we wouldn't need to learn it. We'd already be practicing it. It'd be a part of our daily lives. But even when we don't know what the lesson is, we can know one thing. It's always a lesson of love. Courage, faith, patience. Loving ourselves when it looks and feels like nobody else cares. Starting over again one more time when we think we've already started over again more times than we should ever have to. Forgiveness, compassion, gentleness, joy, each one is a lesson of love. For many of us, the problem isn't that we haven't had enough love in our lives. The issue is that we haven't understood love. Know this, not only are the lessons about love, the lessons themselves are love. Feel your feelings, struggle through your situations and experiences and emotions. The struggle to learn isn't incidental to your purpose. It's an integral part of your purpose, your destiny, your reason for being. Go through your moments of darkness and confusion and trust that the light will come. Through it all, rest in one thought. You're on track. You're on your path. You are connected to love. You are connected to everything, everyone, through love. The lessons you're learning are lessons of love. Slowly bringing awareness back into the fingers and the toes. And we will be transitioning from our child's pose into a restorative crocodile. So for this pose, maybe we like something under our ankles. Maybe we like something by our hands. I like to use my U-shaped pillow from my forehead. So we're going to be working our way onto our belly. And so I have something under my ankles because I like it there. So I connect my forehead to my pillow. And I'm finding arms that feel good. So right now my shoulders are up off the floor and not feeling supported. They're working to hold themselves back. So this is where I might bring in a pillow to put under my arms on either side or underneath me, or maybe underneath my hands. Finding a way to prop up with our nose down so that we can fully support. Breathing in, finding our deep belly breath while we're on our belly. Seeing if we can feel that expansion through the stomach area, all the way down to the diaphragm. And as we're breathing, imagine expanding our rib cage out and in. Visualizing that process of our ribs opening up to give us full expansion in the lungs. Seeing if we can feel the ribs expand individually as we breathe. Deep belly breathing. And again, letting our body just melt into the floor. Finding that space to feel so good. And truly let whatever burdens we're carrying, let them out and just relax. We need to learn how to relax, how to unwind. Find things in our day-to-day lives that are relaxing, healing, soothing, and available to us. Sit in the sun. Sit in the bath. Take a trip to a nearby hot springs or mineral bath in your state. Perch atop a mountain or hill, taking in the view from above. Let yourself sit and soak in it for as long as you can. Let yourself be still for as long as you can. Move around for a bit if you need to, then go back and try stillness again. Don't just do it once, try it often. Allow yourself to relax. Give yourself opportunities to unwind. Soon you'll learn how. Pay attention to what you think and feel when you try to relax. Watch as a neutral observer, without judgment or reproach. What thoughts come to mind? How do you feel? What do you feel? Go as deeply into your thoughts and feelings as you are able. Sit quietly for as long as you can. When your body is done, it will tell you. Slowly bringing awareness back into the fingers and the toes. Maybe taking a little wiggle. Maybe propping ourselves up on our hands and pressing back into child's pose. The next place we're going is into a side lying twist. So we're going to start on our back and bring one leg up and over. For this pose, I like a big pillow off to my side. And I like one under my head as well. So I start on my back. And I extend the leg that's next to the pillow long. And then bringing my opposite knee over to the pillow so it's fully supported. And then maybe a pillow behind for the arm that's behind us. Or one on the front. Finding the place that just we can relax into this gentle twist. So it's fully supported, maybe something under the head. Feeling that opening, that twist through the spine. Twists are important. They help us release stored tensions. So closing our eyes or maybe putting an eye pillow over our eyes. Breathing into that tension that's in our spine and letting it go. Learn to listen to silence. Driving into Yellowstone Park, I switched off the radio. The sun was setting. The mountains on either side of the road framed my view. Snow-capped mountains, their peaks touching the clouds, reflected the peach, pink, and orange of the setting sun. The clouds were beginning to change color, the way they do at twilight. Evergreens lined the road. Some stood tall, some stooped, some bent, as if peeking at our beckoning the travelers on the road. The smell of pine gently filled the car. Because I'd been driving all day, I had kept the radio on to keep me alert and entertained. Now I shut it off. As I drove, I let the silence fill my car, fill my mind, fill my soul. Before long, the colors of the sunset began to almost sing. The trees, the mountains, filled me with their energy, rhythm, and vibration. Certain sounds can be healing. Music, the voice of a friend, the laughter of the child. But there are other things and other times we need to turn down the sound and listen to the silence. Silence can be healing too. As the sun set and I drove through the gates of Yellowstone Park, I realized this. The sounds of silence aren't silent. Each creation that lives sings its own song. It takes a quiet mind, a quiet soul, a quiet heart to hear these songs. Learn to listen in silence. Listen to the world around you and the silence will sing you a beautiful song. Gently bringing awareness back into the fingers and the toes, making some small movements, and then beginning to slowly move into the same pose but on the opposite leg, finding our same twist. Taking our time to get there, moving with intention and thoughtfulness. Supporting ourselves where we need it, letting our body melt into the floor, releasing any tension that we're carrying in our back, letting go of those emotions and feelings and thoughts. Giving in to the now. And slowly bringing awareness back into our fingers and our toes. And when we're ready, gently unwinding ourselves back. Taking a moment to draw our knees into our chest and just release any tension that's in our back. And for our final pose today, we're going to find a supported Shavasana. So we have lots of options. Again, thinking about just filling all gaps so that everything is supported. Knowing that you are fully supported. So I like something under my knees, something under my head, an eye blanket on, an eye pillow on, maybe resting my hands on another pillow. And playing with it a little bit until we feel that everything is fully capable of relaxing. If we're feeling any tension, help supporting up that place so that we can feel calm and rested. Coming back to our breath. Coming back to our sankalpa, to our intention. Slowly bringing awareness back into the body, making some small micro movements. And returning to our Sankalpa as we breathe in our heads, saying the first part of our Sankalpa and exhaling the second part. Breathing in, I am, exhaling, love, compassion, rest, peace. As we become more and more aware of our surroundings and our body, making a mental note to ourselves to notice what the rest of our day is like. How do we approach it? Are we coming from a more calm, more centered place? How do we sleep tonight? If we'd like to take a longer final relaxation staying here, or if we're ready, taking a moment to roll onto one side, taking a few breaths on that side. And then we're ready. When we're ready, pressing ourselves up, finding an easy seated, comfortable position, keeping our eyes lowered, our gaze low, or maybe our eyes closed. Stacking our vertebrae and just feeling the breath move in and out of our lungs. Breathing in and out our Sankalpa. When we're ready, with our arms reaching out to the sides, inhaling all the way overhead, bringing our hands together, exhaling as we come to heart center. Giving ourselves a gratitude for taking this time for some self-care, for some restorative, relaxing, restful moments. Taking one more breath here, exhaling out. Taking our time to return to our day. Maybe we need a little bit of quiet time as we slowly come out of the state that we're in. Honoring that need of our heart for that silence. And taking our time to slowly come back to our day-to-day activities. I hope you had a wonderful practice.